Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the Woman to Woman show on the New You Nation Network. Happy Monday, happy March 2nd. Can you believe we are in March? So
Yeah.
we are here for another night of conversation, real talk, real women just talking. And so we're gonna get started as we normally do. And I'm gonna let one of you guys start tonight. Introduce yourselves and say what you're grateful for.
Hi, I am Regina Howard Norman, and I'm grateful I made it in tonight. That's there's a lot to that, but I'm going to leave it there.
Okay.
Wow. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Regina Booker, and we're just saying what we're grateful for. I am grateful for this weekend to be over. I was highly favored and blessed, but I was tired and I got some rest, so that's checked off the list.
Okay, and I am Theodore Carter. I am the founder, owner of T Carter Coaching and Consultant. I'm helping women, Lord God. Listen, I'm ready to pray. Helping women live with clarity, courage, and intention. And I mean, I'm grateful for the weekend that I had. Honestly, opportunity to see Regina and another one of my friends that I go to church with in a revival, worship art revival this weekend, dancing, and it was just so powerful
Nice.
the entire weekend. So I'm grateful. Like Regina said, like I was running, like I was there Friday, I was there Saturday, then Sunday church. But it was just such a powering and uplifting weekend. So I'm grateful to have been able to experience that and be treated like a VIP. So, so yeah, so that was really cool. That was really cool. So yeah, so it's funny. You're glad it's over because you're tired, and I was like, it was an amazing weekend. So thanks again for the invite. So we're gonna get started with this conversation, and I will tell you guys how I came to this title about AI and us, and how artificial intelligence changing our lives. I literally came to this topic because I don't know if you guys have seen like these little clips that they have sometimes on social media where they're advertising AI, but they always
Yes.
make it seem like the older people, the Gen Xers, don't know what they're doing and they're just stuck in ChatGPT. So I was like, oh, this would be an interesting topic to cover. And then I finally got my book from Regina this weekend, and I
Hey.
was skimming through it. And then I was like, I was just skimming through it, looking at what the different chapters are, and I was like, look at chapter 7, talking about embracing technology. Honestly, I was thinking about changing tonight's topic, and then I was like, this must really be the topic we're supposed to be talking about because chapter 7 of When Wisdom Speaks. I don't know, people probably can't see it, but Regina's book, When Wisdom Speaks, is embracing technology. And so I was like, okay, I guess we were meant to talk about this topic.
Hmm.
And so now think about it. We grew up in the era of cassette tapes. Remember cassette tapes?
Typewriters.
And typewriters and landline phones and the little
Mhm.
phones with the what I don't even know
The
what they were called.
rotary.
The rotary
Rotary.
phone,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
The
Pay
Rotary.
phones. Remember
Hmm.
pay phones in the
Oh
street,
yes, the
right?
payphone.
Yeah.
And
Lifesaver.
now we are living in an age of not just new technology, but in the age where you literally can have a artificial intelligence tool
Yes.
do everything for you,
Hmm.
right? And
Right.
so
Right.
when you think about like where AI is being used, like it's all over, right? People using it to write. It's taking people's jobs, right? Honestly.
Mhm.
Um what how are you, how like how does it make you feel? Like are you comfortable with it? Are you
Um,
Well,
I go ahead, Regina. You go ahead.
well, I was gonna say that for me, it's good and bad. It makes you kind of lazy because
mm,
even with the technology, if you learn pretty much AI, you don't have to do anything. That's the lazy part of it. Um, so it stops you from thinking per se.
mhm,
So it's good and bad. And a quick fix, it helps you. Like if you write something and you want it to be okay, let's polish it up, but it still has your words,
yeah.
then that's one thing. But if you're just straight, because you could talk to it and tell you to create this, and you haven't done anything,
Mhm.
but just tell AI to do something, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pros and cons
Yeah.
because we're no longer talking about Zoom and it's
Right.
like that it's just fading out. To me, AI is kind of fading out everything, although you probably do need some of those tools, but it's basically going to push a button.
But even with
Well,
those tools now, like you could be on a Zoom call or a Google chat and
Mhm, and it's
you
taking
got
your
you
notes.
got the
Mhm,
AI technology in the
mhm,
background listening to your whole conversation and
mhm.
transcribing it. So
right, and
it
that's optional.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you could say yes or no, but
right.
if you forget to say no, sometimes I think it I don't know if it can automatically do it unless you have it set because some
It
people set it to automatically.
right. And there's some you it's the prompt if you want an AI generated transcript or what have you.
Yeah.
Um, but the title for tonight I think is AI and us, right?
Hmm.
And when you think about AI, it's really an embodiment of a lot of intellectual prompts and information and resource. And one of the things that Regina said I've thought about for like the last couple of years as AI is becoming more prominent and used in a lot of different spaces is um, our ability to uh, think and process our own information. And so one
Hmm.
of the things that concern me is the laziness piece,
Hmm.
right? And then there's been issues with uh plagiarizing information. Colleges now have to put in certain things in regards to detecting if it's a AI generated
Yeah.
report or if the person did the research, right? So one of the things that I've thought about, because I do use um, AI to help me after I've done the initial groundwork in regards to a particular subject matter. And what I found out uh, in a very positive way is that some of the stuff that I would have initially already looked or researched when I put in a query, a specific prompt for AI, they generate back to me some of the same information I had done an initial research on. And
Mm.
so I think one of the challenges that we have to decide for ourselves, are we going to choose to be lazy? Because it really is a choice. Now, there's certain things that I think, like if you need a flyer, a basic flyer,
Yeah.
yeah, AI could generate a nice flyer, but I wouldn't ask AI to do my report.
Mm.
If I had to generate a report, I wouldn't ask AI to do my
Yeah.
thinking, right? So, to Regina's point, I think we always have to be engaged in our process, whether it's a letter, a report, or something that we have to do that requires us to think. I think the AI is supposed to be the support, do some of the heavier lifting that we would have taken maybe 5-6 hours to do. They can do it using the proper AI tools and giving them the proper prompts. You can get something done within
Mhm.
an hour, because you could
Yeah.
keep drilling down. So part of what I've realized when I first started really embracing AI is, what way am I going to use it?
Yeah.
Because it's here, it's part of everyday life. It's not just about texting someone and making sure they do the spell correct or that sort of thing.
Mhm.
This, what we're talking about, is a whole nother level of engagement. And so I'm saying, okay, it's here. To your point, it is part of our society, and more so incrementally with the different ways technology is increasing and what's being added into AI and the different things that AI can do.
Mhm.
So the thing I said, well, how can it assist me? It's supposed to assist me in doing whatever project I'm up to.
Yeah.
And so, and it's also, I think, about a person's integrity as well. But,
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
what I was thinking about, is the integrity piece.
yeah, because you can have AI assist you and be like, okay, no, I want this, I want that, I want this. So now you're engaging, you're using this, saying, okay, that looks good, but I need that, versus saying, oh, AI, do this for me. And it's like, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
No, where is it's like, where's your thought? What is your end game? Is it just to put in a thing, say, hey, do this for me? Oh, thank you very much. Or are you saying, no, this is okay, but I need it this way? And so are you engaged in that process? And so I think that's where we have to be mindful of becoming intellectually lazy.
Mhm.
Because like Regina said, and I've thought about it, sometimes I write stuff out versus type because I need to engage my brain.
Yeah.
I need to still, think about a thing and process it. And I'm not trying to do heavy lifting. If you have a tool as a resource, of course. But we always have to understand where's our skin in the game.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
so that's some of the things I think is, now that I've embraced it, I realized there's so many benefits to it, of course. Um, can help you create content based on what you're up to, but the due diligence is on you to make sure the research that it generates is tangible, is
Mhm.
credible, is backed up. Because what happens is, if we just take that, say we take ask it a question and brings us up, we say, okay, great. But did you cross reference that? Did you make sure that this is what you are going to present in front of other people? Have you made sure that the research is accurate to what you need it to be? And
Yeah.
and be thorough in the review of it, because sometimes people just, oh no, just go, put in a prompt or ask it a question, it's going to give you this and that. I've done that, and I've had to go behind it because it wasn't necessarily accurate for what I needed.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that, I have, especially when I'm talking to some of my clients and they're like, "Oh, should I use it for, like you said, resume?" And I'm like, it's okay when you're putting in your thoughts and then you're like, either polish it up or make it condense it, right? But I
Right.
think for me, I think one of the main things is how much has it really, played into people's integrity, right? Not being, honest enough to say, I wrote this, when they just are telling AI to do it. But the other thing I think people have to be mindful of as well is not always grammatically correct.
Absolutely
So
right.
you could put something in and say, hey, can you condense this? Could you make it sound better? Can you rewrite this? But if you just plop it into whatever document you're plopping it into without reading it or making sure it hasn't, because it also sometimes will change the meaning of what you were trying to say,
Right.
right? But I think one of the things I thought about this topic is because when you think about the various areas that AI is being used in, for those of us who are Gen X's and are still working, right?
Mhm.
How does that impact your ability to maintain within the workplace?
Uh,
Because, you know, a lot of, I mean, and that's with technology in general, right? But then you have AI bots come up. So, you know, it's taking away jobs because a lot of customer service places don't really need what do you call it? They don't really need a customer service person, right?
mhm.
You could type in something and you have an AI bot that's going to respond to you,
Right.
right? So it's those things.
And you said us. When I think of us, I think of
Well,
what we're used to as far as customer service. Is certain industries still have people, because
Mhm.
I know it frustrates me to the 10th degree if I'm trying to contact someone and I'm getting I hear you. Uh, so what you're saying is, and I'm saying no, I need a customer representative, please. I can help you with that. No, I need a customer representative. So I'm over here on the other end, like thoroughly annoyed because I need to speak to a person, right?
Yeah.
But as it relates to me at work, uh,
excuse
it it doesn't impact me in a negative way because of my position and what I do.
Mhm.
It's an enhancement. It like if I'm doing a particular topic or a subject matter, it can help me far as doing a deeper dive in the research that may have taken me, you know, a
Mhm.
couple of days to do it. And it's with using the tools, it takes me maybe hour, 2 hours, and then I can sift through all of that and see what's relevant for me to use versus having to go through,
Mhm.
seven to plus search engines to find a particular information. So it is helpful in
me.
that way because it'll generate information that I get to select what's the most appropriate for what I'm doing.
So now at the Real Black Lexicon says that's a primitive form of AI. So tell us a little more, Black, at the Real Black Lexicon, what you mean by that in the chat. Oh, yep. So Siri and Alexa are better examples. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Cause Siri and Alexa, man, they
Yeah.
they will have real conversation with you. Like my brother literally told his Alexa that he was gonna fire her, and she told him she was gonna get her resume ready. So 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 I was like, really, bro? He was like, and then I tried it with mine, and I did the same because I didn't believe him, and I did the same thing with mine. I was like, I'm gonna fire you, and she said the same thing. She was like, oh no, let me get my resume ready. So yeah,
Okay.
But even with that, that's talking that somebody prompted to say. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
but
really
it's
not talking back. That's reply. I don't know. That's
but I
crazy.
think it's also that not knowing what's behind the technology, right? Like even now on
Mhm.
social media, sometimes you can't tell what's AI versus what's real, right?
Yeah.
But I think this was a good conversation to have because as Gen Xers, we do need to embrace, as Regina says in her book, technology, all
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
all of the technology, right? There's so much new stuff. You got Siri, you got Alexa, you got Chat GPT, you got Gemini, you got Copilot, right? You got all of these
Right.
different variables, right? And see, look, she said the cost of entry to that level of quality to so high right now is a barrier. Yep, it's crazy. Like I literally, like you said, I literally call someplace and sometimes find myself arguing with the little recording because it won't
Lead you
when
to
I
a
press
person.
zero, it won't
Yeah.
go. It keeps
Right.
talking to me, right? And I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to a person, right? But I do think so. So in Regina's book, she puts technology is no longer just a convenience; it is a necessity. Digital tools help us manage health, connect with family, and more. Yet, as technology continues to evolve at lightning speed, it can often feel intimidating and overwhelming. So, do you
Yeah.
find it to be intimidating and are overwhelming?
It can be like certain forms, like now we're not talking about AI, but like Google Forms
Oh, okay. So you
drives
just,
me
yeah, like you saying like just
crazy.
different
Like
software.
Google Docs, yeah, different things like that. But that's how a lot of businesses receive things. Now, I'm on a board in an organization, so we're using a lot of Google Docs and different things in our communication team or committee. They are savvy because the women we had like 2 years ago, we probably didn't even have a community because no one wanted to really do it. But right now we do have one, and they are savvy, and they send these things out, and I'm sitting here like, okay, but I don't say no. I learn it. I figure it out, or I will contact them. Now, don't be. I always say you can learn from a baby, which is true. Um, Technology. Not only do I not, I'm not. I never was really interested in things. Technology goes back to even just putting things together. Let's go back to way back. Like I never even liked putting things together. I'm not really that kind of. I'm not interested in it. It's not something I love. So I would pay someone to do anything. So to me, it goes all the way back to that. Even with technology, and then you trying to figure it out. And now it's nobody for me to pay. I have to really figure it out if I wanted to get it done. So that's how it intimidates me. So now I just have to regroup and figure it out and learn it, even though I hate it.
So you didn't like those little wooden logs? Remember
Mm-mm.
those logs?
None of
Those
that. None of that.
logs that they had made houses out. You didn't like Lego. You didn't like none of that.
No, Legos, none of that. That's why for me, but it's something it kind of is on the same, but it's something I have to do now. I can't say no because the world operates on that. Legos, I had a choice. I didn't have to play Legos if I didn't want to. You know what I mean? I don't have to put things together. I could always pay somebody. I'm the girl that found somebody to put some stuff together and paid them. People like, you're crazy. No, I'm not. You like what you like. I don't like it, so I will pay. I know I'm overpaying. I don't want to put it together. I don't even want to figure it out. So
But think about it now. Even the our medical records, right?
mhm.
They send you your results
And that drives me
via
crazy too.
portal.
Yeah, so
Right.
I gotta go through the stupid portal. That was what that was why I said it, because those are the things that I experience. It's things that I have to do. It's nothing in order to get to it. They're gonna refer you back. Sometimes you might get somebody to speak to you. Most of the times they refer you to your portal, and you have to sit there and read it and all that stuff. So it's too much.
Yeah.
But
But
we
but
have to do it.
yeah. I mean, I think for me, I think one of the great things about just technology and new stuff is it forces you to it forces you to figure stuff out.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
I will honestly say in the midst of like just, running my business, right? I would have never thought that I've created my own websites, right? I've
Mhm.
created other people's funnels and landing pages and stuff like that, right? Just
You helped me with my book when I was getting it.
yeah,
What was it
yeah.
called? Frontline or something? I don't even know.
Oh yeah, the platform fourth wall, right? Just
Yeah,
setting up
yeah.
your landing page. So for
Mhm.
me, it has made me more curious and more creative,
Mhm.
right? And so I think that's one of the benefits of it as well, is that it can be a tool that makes you be a little more creative, right?
Mhm.
Makes you you know a little more efficient in some areas, right? Because like you said, sometimes you can put in your stuff and prompt it to condense it or rewrite it, and then you just have to go through and do a check. So in some cases, it can be more efficient, make you more creative. But I also think it makes you use your mind because you have to figure stuff out.
That part of it, yes.
Yeah.
You do.
Well, that's
Unless
definitely
unless
just
you're like the people Regina talk about that just be like, write me a paper.
right. Right. But see, I think I won't say it's the fear now, but because I've gotten over the fear part of it. But initially, my fear was not using my brain enough,
Hmm.
where basic things that um, I used to remember easy, not because I'm saying, oh, do this, do that for me.
Yeah.
It's harder for me to remember. Like now, I'm starting to make myself write phone numbers again because I'm like I maybe remember 5 phone numbers. I used to remember 10 or 12 because I always had to call it, call the number,
Yeah.
dial the numbers for okay. And now it's like, oh, you press a person's name and the number pops up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so, and that's just very rudimentary, but as it
Mhm.
relates to the bigger things that we're up to, AI is definitely an amazing assistant. It could be an awesome tool, but I think what we may be concerned about, I know Regina said it, and I've thought about it too, is the laziness. Getting comfortable with it, doing so much that you don't engage your mind to do what you're capable of doing, or to stretch your mind, right? Because now you get comfortable to say, okay, oh, I can get this done with AI. And AI isn't only about um, reports and things like that. It's
Mhm.
like uh, the one of the contributors said in the comments, is also Alexa and Siri and that sort of stuff. And to what level do you want that level of engagement? How deep
Yeah.
do you want that to be in regards to, turn on my lights and turn on to this and
Hmm.
you know,
But this is true too. So I think this is how I think of it, right? Like, to the public, AI means artificial intelligence. My synopsis of current trends make me term it augmented information,
mm,
right?
okay,
um and I think of it like that too, because for me, but I think that's where it goes back to the integrity piece, right?
right,
Because it becomes augmented information when you are using it in conjunction with using your own mind, right? And using it as a resource,
right,
as opposed to using it as a crutch,
difference, yes,
right? There's a difference.
yeah,
Because I think some people do use it as a crutch, right? As a, this is an easy way for me, which is why schools, to the point you made, have put in place um, tools that they can actually tell if a student used AI to write a paper,
right.
right? So, and so I think, yeah, I think it's interesting because, but and really and truly, I'm gonna tell you, this topic really was because I was offended that I kept seeing all of these little snippets and little things on social media that tried to make it seem like we were not smart enough as
Mm.
Gen Xers to utilize the tools. So I was like, okay, let's have a conversation about this because I'm a little offended that
Well,
this is how they're making these commercials.
right, and I've seen a lot of them too. They'll say, if you in 30 days we can have you doing this if you're over
Yeah.
40 and stuff like that. And that's really that's that surface judgment because there are people in their 50s, 60s, 70s that are definitely not averse to AI and the
Yeah.
benefits of it and how to use it and embrace it.
But also as a marketing tool,
Yeah, of course, of course.
right?
But
Yeah.
I mean, but to your point, what is that saying,
Hmm.
right? If you're over 40, you don't have any real understanding of AI, how to use it, or you're adverse to it because you're scared of such and such.
Hmm.
And that's kind of stereotypical, right? That's
Yeah.
saying, and so we're not dealing with stereotypes, but one of the things that I will say is that the level of uh, the leaps and bounds that are being made in artificial intelligence, to your point, we're talking about the videos and such that look like a real thing is happening and it's not, and you have to really have some discernment and not just go for that. Oh wow, did you hear about? And you're like, no, that wasn't real.
Mhm.
That was generated. That was,
Yeah.
a real situation. So I think there's so many areas that we can talk about in regards to AI and um, where it's being used.
Yeah.
So, and that's a whole different thing. Like the different areas that it's impacting, right? Um, and
Mhm.
again, it could be documentation, it could be entertainment, it can be,
Mhm.
personal, but we have to engage in order to be not relevant, but or in order to stay on top of what's happening, we need to be able to engage different forms of AI and
Yeah.
using it in our lives so that we're the lead and not in behind.
Yeah. So look at this. AI is a race now. Imagine creating something that holds all the information that exists since the beginning of history up to now. Only one thing can do that now, and that is God.
Oh yeah, for
Yep.
sure, for
And
sure. Because I mean, the reality is AI is generated based on what information is put into
mhm.
different things, right?
And
But
that's where the education that these kids like STEM and all that. So it's programming. It's all
mhm,
Mhm.
programming. So um, these jobs now, like get a job in business administration, that's kind of obsolete now in a
Mhm.
way because you need some type of technology. So you need to go in the field of STEM or technology or the sciences or something where they kind of need people. Uh, like I got laid off due to AI. So,
Mm.
that was
Really?
one of the, yeah,
Because they
because
implemented tools.
everything was automated tools and they wanted the employees to do that. So, and also outsource.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
So it was a combination. Save money,
Mhm.
less.
But I think too, like the last comment, right, is the reality is I don't care how much or how big AI gets, no one is able to put in, right, to the point that the
That's true.
comment said, no one is
Hmm.
able to put in all of the information
Absolutely not.
because the only one that knows all of that is God.
Yeah, and then if you have a direct question to Gina's
Agree.
point, I I want to speak to a representative because they can't answer your
Mhm.
direct, like it's a
It's a
overall
prompt.
question. Yeah, it's a prompt.
They get
So if you
stuck.
have something specific to say, it's not gonna answer that question. So what I do, I keep on hitting 00002 or 111. And then if
Right.
I, oh, and it automatically kick it to, oh, you want to speak to a representative? Absolutely. Don't want to speak to this. And also going through, if you think about going through fast food lines now,
Hmm.
drive through. So if you want your sandwich catered a certain way, where you used to be able to just talk to a person, you can't
Mhm.
do it through that. It's not gonna tell, like, if, for instance, I don't want pickles on my burger, it is not gonna do that.
Yeah, I've learned how to
Okay.
bypass
Yeah.
them by not doing what they ask me to do. So eventually they get frustrated and just give me to a person.
Okay. I didn't even know you could do that with, because it just you
Yeah,
just say,
because after a while, if they keep asking you a question and you keep giving them the wrong answer or don't respond in a way, they'll you'll
yeah,
end up getting to a person because they can at a certain point their prompts no longer know how to
Respond
respond.
to that.
oh
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I didn't even know. I just know you
yeah,
can't. I just don't even. I think I tried it one time. I got frustrated. I was like, forget this. And I just left. I just rolled on out.
Yeah. And this is true too. Some systems are advanced enough to recognize tone and turn it into an emotional response. It is true because some of them will try to be empathetic or whatever, but I
But
would
that's
tell
still not
you,
answering your question. So
yeah,
it's pointless. Like you
yeah,
could be emotional. I'm sorry, I'm this, but I still need to speak to a person because you
Right.
are not programmed to what my specific
yeah,
question is or what I actually need. It's not to the
yeah,
point that our, listener said nothing but God. Come on.
yeah.
So
But it's true. It's like you begin to think like at what level do you embrace, right? Because there's a level that of it that you embrace, and then there's
mhm,
part of it that you're like, you know what, I'm gonna use it to the best of my ability. And then
mhm,
like with me, like I definitely I there are times when I'm like, you know what, I this little prompt, this little automated system is not working. And so I'll just keep hitting like a button that it can't respond to, or I'll keep answering the question wrong, and then it'll give
mhm.
me a person.
That's another way. If you answer it
Yeah.
wrong, it just automatically kick you to someone.
Yeah,
Take
Yes.
hand. But that's
yeah,
just the systems. But there are people that are learning what I still like true authentic I can never say that word. Just to be authentically you, I guess,
hmm
like the trends that's on social media,
hmm
all the trends from the AI. I'm like, but that's always been me. I didn't follow trends. I just have to be different. So
hmm
all the characters that's are near, I mean, it's all cute and all. But at first I was going to try, I'm like, this is cute. Then when I saw everybody doing it, I don't know how many people like me. I can no longer stand it. I'm like, you know what? I can't.
Has this ever
It's
happened to you? She
what?
said, I yelled at the phone once, and its
Yeah.
its
Hmm.
response was,
Then
"I
I
have
was sitting there,
nothing
like, I was yelling and almost threw the phone, and I realized like this is a machine. Like it's not even a person saying this stupid stuff.
but it does, like it's programmed because emotions are like before this comment, the comment
Mhm.
was emotions are data, and it's true.
Mhm.
So it's programmed to recognize the tone,
Hmm.
the whatever, so that
Mhm.
it then will respond like, I know this is frustrating, and they're gonna let connect you to someone, or I know you may not be happy. Like it really does kind of be able to pick up on your
Your
emotions.
tonality. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's true. But then I've been on both sides where when I worked, I've worked in a call center before and they had it. It wasn't to this advance because it was some years ago, but it wasn't that long ago. It still had
Mhm.
not as deep AI but the customer would get to me and they start yelling, I hate these prompts. I want to talk to the person. I don't have to go through 15. Can you do I understand your frustration, but it goes nowhere, no matter how
Yeah.
much a customer says. And then I've said that not being in it's still on the other side working it. But then
Mhm.
I get on the phone and I'm trying and I tell the representative, I want to make a complaint. No one is not going to go anywhere. But I was so frustrated by the time and I do say it's not you. I understand it's not you. It's the
Right.
way but they need to know people. I don't want to do when I want to speak to someone. So I'm gave my 5 minutes of that before I even tell them my problem. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah. I
know,
mean, I think for me, the thing I think about is that it has literally changed the landscape of the workplace. I will honestly say, even working in HR, right? Adjusting to the fact that there are we have to be mindful of, when to use it and when not to use it,
Hmm.
right? Like I know this past year in 2025, we changed up our performance evaluation process. And one of the things they went back and forth on was whether or not to tell the leaders to use Copilot to help them craft the goals,
Oh,
right?
okay.
That they were
Mhm.
crafting, right? But it also came with us having to make sure that we offered, um, our IT department with our learning and development team, right, offered actually some structured webinars and stuff on the best way to use it
Okay.
to craft the goals, right? And so I think that's the other thing within the workplace is recognizing where to use it, how to use it, when it's going to be beneficial, when it's not,
Right.
So
Now, is someone actually teaching that, or is it one of those lunch and learns where you read and
no,
we
we actually sometimes it's a combo. Like they'll have a member of our LNOD team to do a you could log in to a Zoom and there's live people that ask questions.
Mhm.
And then we always have a recording of it as well. Because remember, we're 24/7 operations. So people cannot, everybody's not able to go to a live session. So we always also make it available in our iLearn system so
Mhm.
people could do it at their own pace. But I think as in organizations in general, you do have to be mindful of how you're rolling. If you're going to use those tools, how you're rolling it out, and making sure that it's not being used in the incorrect way. And also, because we are in an environment where there is a lot of confidential information, there are certain things that you cannot use it for because you don't know who's behind it. Like you can't put someone's personal information or confidential information into a platform that you don't know who's going to have access to it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I think those are all the things that also have to be taken into consideration when you're using it for yourself as well, even on a personal level. Like how much information do you want to give this tool about you? Because eventually it knows you.
Mhm.
And so to say, oh, your tone is this or your personality is that, right? It gets to know you so it actually can better craft the information for you.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's when I think, and that's an actual decisions you make. It depending on what you're doing. Some authors may do that, or speakers, because they want help with how to frame what they want in their own words, in their own tone.
Mhm.
So it's their thought, it's their information, but it gets enhanced with AI, but it doesn't take away from the original intent of the author or the speaker. And in those situations, you want that level of engagement. You want them to know your voice because you don't want them speaking in whatever that tonality would be. You want to
Mhm.
speak in your voice and your um the way you engage with people. And I think,
Mhm.
again, there's so many levels to AI. I see it as definitely a compliment to what we're up to if we
Mhm.
take the time to learn how to embrace it for what we need, and to remember that at the end of the day, um, we're in charge.
Yep.
It's a
Mhm.
tool like anything else.
Yes.
Uh, so I'm just gonna take a little time out, and
Okay.
I'll be back in a few. Okay.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Go handle your business.
Okay.
So Regina, let's pivot for a second. Let's talk about your embracing technology because I literally, of course, I didn't read the whole book that quickly, although it is an easy read.
Yes,
But
it is
I
very
always like to see what the topics are, and I was like, wow, I just love how, one of the areas you talked about in the book. And if anyone that's listening, Regina has a book called When Wisdom Speaks, a self-care journal for women 50 and over. And it just talks about the various stages and areas in life that we as 50 and over, right, need to think about. And one of the chapters is on embracing technology and how, you know, we have to learn how to navigate the digital world. Although it's not easy, it is beneficial. And you talk about the various areas where we use it. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, like, I mean, we use it every day in your everyday life. Like, it's kind of like your cell phone now.
Mhm.
It's with you everywhere.
Yeah.
So, again, your prescriptions, you could uh, call in. It's on a list, or not even call in. Go online, have it delivered to you. Your charts, your records, even your some gyms like keep a record of your health or
Mhm.
things like that. Grocery.
Yeah, I like how you broke it down into different areas of
Mhm,
using and embracing technology to
mhm.
stay connected, which
Yeah,
equates to emotional wellness and
yeah,
lifelong learning, which is what we talked about with AI being something
yeah,
that can help you stay mentally stimulated, right?
yeah. Because you
Yeah.
have to change with the technology. Even though I don't like it, I have to change. And then the new area I'm in, going down this whole coaching thing is a lot. I heard somebody, but it's a lot of technology that I'm going to have to embrace, such
Mhm.
as setting up Zooms, which I don't have a Zoom. I'm always on someone else's Zoom. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
so now I gotta have my own Zoom. So I'm gonna have to learn how to work that, having the proper mics and different things. The Calendly, you already have that. Um,
Yeah, I don't use Calendly. That I use the Google platform.
yeah, everything's on
So
what
yeah,
whichever platform to set your
yeah,
appointments, those
yeah.
type of. So you're going to have to, and then you're
Mhm.
even setting up your website. You
Mhm.
don't have to work it. The different platforms you can use to get
Yeah,
paid, or your merch is on. So it's all these type of things that you're going to have to know how to
yeah,
work. Even if you hire, even though I made sure I pay somebody, paying somebody, you still need to have some type of knowledge of it, because just to pay them, um, unless you up there CEO, but even a CEO has to know something. You got to know.
yeah. I mean, because the reality is, you could have somebody do it for you, but you
Mhm.
still have to tell them what it is, what you want them
Right.
to do, right? But then also, unless you're gonna have someone that's managing your site, right,
Mhm.
to make any changes or updates or whatever. Like I
Mhm.
honestly will say, my when I first started out, I had somebody do it, but over the over the years, like what I've been running my business now for what 5 6 years.
Mhm.
So over the years, I've literally taught myself how to do stuff, right? So I've revamped my website.
Mhm.
I've you know learned what tools work and what tools don't
Right.
work, etc. Right?
And that's what you're going to have to go to, because
Yeah,
if you interact with other generations below
yeah,
us or younger than us, whatever you want to call, that's all they know. And some of the things they don't know what we
yeah,
know, or they
yeah,
not that they don't know, they wasn't they didn't live through that era, so they don't really have a reason to know per se. Um,
yeah. I mean, we came up in the era of encyclopedias, right?
yeah.
Remember
Mhm.
when they used to come
Big
to
old
your
thick book.
door
Yeah. Mhm.
to sell
And then you
encyclopedias?
always had that whole big A to Z thing in your house,
But I,
taking up
but I
space.
think, yeah, but I think that's where, for me, AI and all the technology
Mhm.
really, for me, is fine. Like I can navigate it because I've always been someone that can research or figure stuff out, and I
Mhm.
like to do that. Like that's how I like to figure stuff out. I like to figure out how to make something work, or navigate and do research. So all of these tools like AI and all these other technologies that come out, it makes me want to figure it out,
Mhm.
And so I end up spending time exploring it, and then once I get used to it, I kind of embrace it, right? But also,
Mhm.
as a at the Real Black Lexicon was saying in the chat, is you also begin to recognize the different variables
Mhm.
about the different AI tools that are out there, because
Yeah.
there are so many, and it
Mhm.
really is a language processing. Like she said, it really is language processing. It's an AI discipline now, right? It's
Mhm.
so it's really a tool that is being taught how to recognize emotion, how
Mhm.
to recognize language, how to, it it's only as good as the prompts that you give it, if
Right.
that makes sense,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So yeah. So so I think that's, and this is true too. Young people are not computers either. They're not. Like young
Mhm.
people, I for me, this is my own personal opinion. I think in a sense we have a little one up on them, because we did come up in an era where we had to go to the library and learn how to use, what's that little catalog thing where you had to look up
Oh,
books and
the Dewey.
stuff.
Look, that's how old I am. The Dewey Decimals.
Yeah, like
Dewey Decimal System.
we had to learn all that stuff.
Mhm.
So I mean, even to the point now they don't even have to, and this is taking us to another whole topic. They don't even have to learn how to write in cursive anymore.
Mm-mm.
So
No. And
yeah.
they're writing, me being a sub, and now I, s- I took over, which I'm really enjoying this. One of the teachers went out on leave, and I'm in my own set classroom, but they asked me to take over her class. She's a resource. What a resource teacher is, they pull kids out of class.
Mm.
So I will be doing that for the next 6 weeks while
Oh,
she's
nice.
on leave. So I'm sitting there, so I'm kind of like 101 per se with them, but I depending on which block I have, how many students are in my class. So I was looking at my schedule for tomorrow. Actually, we're out because of election day, Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, there's a heavy it's a heavy class load. Monday, I'm like, oh, Monday is my light day. But
Mm,
anyway, the kids were in the class and I'm looking at them writing. I'm like, wow. Now, my EC kids that on the spectrum, I expect them to write like that per se.
mm,
But these kids, now I I pull out third graders, fourth graders, and fifth graders. Unbelievable. Can't write.
mm.
Everything's on the computer. They can't even
Yeah.
just regular write. Forget it in cursive. They can't write. And one,
I
I was
mean,
trying to read, and I told one of them, I was like, that's not a two. I said, because I told them write the date. I said, oh, the month changed. It's a different month. It's 3. So I erased it. And he looked at me, he said, that was my 3. And I'm like, looking at him like, oh my God. I said, well, he said,
but,
well, you don't have to
but
do
that's
everything.
where they need the help.
Yeah, he said, we don't have to do everything perfect. I said, no, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I need to be able to read it. I could not read it. So
Yeah.
you need to write it over. You have to make it legible enough for us, someone to understand or read it. And
Mm,
then after I looked, because you could still see through the eraser, and then I kind of saw how it was. But to me, it looked like he forgot the third. You know how you make 3.
yeah,
It
the
looked like he
three.
just went to a whole
Yeah,
2 and did not. I was like, oh my goodness. So,
yeah. It's interesting. It's crazy. I was talking to one of my friends today. We were kept. She was calling me about another friend, just checking in. And I was saying to her, I was like, it's funny because we were talking about how, when her granddaughter, and understanding like the little acronyms they use to send
mhm.
texts. And I said, listen, I have nieces and nephews who will send me a whole text message with using just a bunch of emojis. And you got to figure out what they're saying. But yeah, so if you've been listening, this is the Woman to Woman show on the New You Nation Network. We thank you for tuning in. We're probably going to wrap up in a minute because the hour always goes so quickly. But we just thought it would be a nice topic to talk about, AI and us, meaning us, the Gen Xers, and how we are embracing and using and navigating AI as a tool. But then I also wanted to explore, from my sister's book, her book, Embracing Technology, because I think it also is critical for those of us who are 50 and above, right? Because it's not that we're not able to do it. It's just figuring out how we're gonna do it,
Yeah.
right? And at what level we're gonna do it. Because I think I'm pretty computer literate, and I have, but I think you also have to have patience to navigate.
I'm learning
and figure out a lot, right?
But I'm doing much better with it. As I go, I'm learning. I'm actually gonna take a course on not coding. It's something podcast or Google something.
Oh, okay.
Can't really think of the name, but it came out. One of the sisters in my organization, this guy got a grant to do some things, and he was looking for older women or people, not really just women,
Yeah.
older. And so I said, yeah. So that's the thing. So there's courses that you can take. Some of them are free.
Yeah.
Like this one was free because he got a grant. So I mean, there's a little cost, but it's a small cost to us.
Yeah.
So I paid a small cost, and you can learn, and then you'll be kind of savvy a little bit, knowing at least you'll be in the conversation. You'll know, you won't be so lost. So I always, I like to learn. I love research. Now Google is my friend. I love Google because I can read a researcher put something in, like what, tell me, and I can read an article or something on it. Google knows a lot of things. So that I love, because I love learning things like that.
Yeah.
Because I love history. So I used to like reading history, and which I still do. And even when there's a great article on social media, sometimes you gotta check the facts, but if it's really interesting, then I'll go and I'll Google it, or I'll see if it's something that's in the news. I'll go to CNN to see if I can find. So that type of stuff I love. The techie part of it, not so much.
You get there.
Yeah.
But I want to thank At the Real Black Lexicon for tuning in and for adding to the conversation. And I'm definitely gonna put this last one up because I'm an Apple girl. I'm a Mac, iPhone, all of that. So Apple was the first intuitive computer company. It's better to be intuitive than technology. So hey,
they were.
Right? They were right.
But I have an iPhone and iPad.
Appreciate you tuning in.
The Mac is different.
Yeah,
I can do the iPad and the iPhone.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
You get used to it. Like all my devices are Apple, but I mean, I think you got people who are like Samsung. You got long as you learn how to use it, you good. But this has been the Woman to Woman show on the New You Nation Network. This was a conversation that I just thought would be interesting to have. So I'm glad we were able to have it. I'm just gonna, talk about your book again. Anybody, if you go to at Seasoned and Fabulous on Instagram and click on the link in the bio, you will be able to get this journal. It is called When Wisdom Speaks. It's a self-care journal for women 50 and over, but I will tell you that you don't have to be 50 and over for it to be relevant to you, and you don't have to be a woman because men can also utilize it. So just a little shout out to Regina Booker. But thank you for joining us. We are here every Monday night on the Woman to Woman show, New You Nation Network. Join us again next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when I can't tell you what the topic is because we normally don't know until the day, but we will be here ready to have another real conversation, real women, just talking about our life experiences and how we are navigating life as Gen X and baby boomers, right? Generation. So we welcome everyone. So you don't have to be a Gen X or a baby boomer to join us. We're just telling you what our experience has been and how we are navigating life at this good old age of being seasoned and fabulous. So have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you again at the Real Black Lexicon for joining us. I'm glad that you found the conversation to be beneficial, and we'll see you again next Monday night, hopefully. Everyone have a great evening and a wonderful rest of the week, and don't forget to go vote tomorrow.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.